Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the second story, The Eyes Are Not Here, written by Ruskin Bond. Let me tell you a little bit about the writer Ruskin Bond. He is an Indian writer. He is a very dedicated writer who just at the age of 17 he wrote one novel. At such a very mere little age he wrote one novel and even won the Sahitya Akademi Award for that. This is the time when he started writing the things. This is how at that very early age he got the flair for writing, and this thing helped him to travel a very long journey in the writing profession. So today we are going to discuss about one of his story, The Eyes Are Not Here. As a title suggest you something or lot more things about the story, but it can be all about the eyes. What are the eyes? The eyes with which we see the things. So in this story the eyes are missing, means the people who we are going to talk may not be able to see. So this is the thing. The story starts with a boy who is traveling on a train and who is destined to his own place, who is going somewhere, and then what happens? His train stops at one station and then he finds that a girl is approaching his seat. Somebody is coming near his seat. Now after some time he finds out that there is one girl who is sitting just beside him. Now he is blind, he can't see anything, but he has some desires. He doesn't want the other people know that he can't see. So what does he do? He tries to make a pretense that he can see properly, so that the other people don't feel bad for him. So he starts a little bit conversation with that girl without even knowing about that girl, who she was, what kind of looks she is having, how does she look like. But still he wants to make some conversation with that girl without knowing anything about her. So he makes some pretenses. He tries to make their conversation away by talking about one thing and then another thing without letting her know that he is blind. And the thing that turns around in the last is we find out that the girl whom the boy was talking was also a blind. This is the climax of the story, and here one figure of speech of writing lies, that is irony. The major component of this story, the major figure of speech, uh, yes, that has been used here. The major component of writing which has been used in this story is irony. Now what is irony? Irony is an incident that happens when we think that something is going on, but in actual the other things are happening. Let me give you one example. Suppose you are having your mobile, you are using your mobile by after sorry suppose you are using your mobile phone by letting your parents know that you are studying on that phone, but in actual if you are playing the game on that, or if you are chatting to somebody else, then it is an irony. Why? Because your parents are thinking that you are studying on your phone. This is their perspective, this is what they are thinking about you, but in actual what is happening? You are playing games on your mobile phone, or you are doing something else which is not studying. So where this kind of contrast lies, with this kind of difference lies, that is called irony. Now same happens in the story. The boy thinks that the girl is beautiful, the girl can see very good, so he tries to make a pretense. He pretends that he can see as well, but he feels shattered when at the last he finds out that the girl was also blind. So whatever he tried throughout his journey to impress the girl, or whatever the concern he was having in his mind, got shattered all the way. So this is the irony in this story. This is how the things turn out another way when we get to know about the reality. So so many things like this also happen in our life. We think something else, but what happens at last, it turns around. So if we talk about the questions, let's say what does they ask. The first question is, it often happens that people with good eyesight fail to see what is right in front of them. Comment on this statement. This is the statement made by a boy that the persons who are who are who are very well able to see the things are very oftenly miss the things that are lying in front of them, because there are so much things to observe, so much things to grasp, but what we do, we just grasp only very few things. But on the other hand, the people who can't see, they get the things, they grasp the things by using their other organs, like they see the things by their by their ears, with the help of their ears. They listen to the things and then get some idea about the things, what they are and how far they are from them. This is what the author is trying to say in these lines when he says that the person with good eyesight fail to see so many things which the person who are blind can see very minutely. Second question is, identify the sentences that the narrator uses to find out something about the girl. So here you will put in the sentences where the boy is trying to figure out about the girl, what she looks like. When you will read out this story, you will very easily find out the sentences which explains the likeliness of the girl. Third question, what does the author like about the hills in October? Now when he starts some conversation with the girl about hills or Dehradun or Saharanpur, he tells us something about the hill, what the thing he likes about the hills, how does the hills like in October. These are the things that we have to explain in under this question. Why does the narrator think he has made a mistake? He has made a mistake when he says, "What is it like?" In the middle of the story, just the boy mistakenly says that what it is like, what the surrounding is like, and then he realizes that I have asked some wrong question. Why? Because the girl can easily get to know that he is blind. That's why he is not able to find out the things which are surrounding him. But then he overcomes this thing by making or by starting another things. Next question, where is the girl traveling to? Now here you have to tell or answer the place where the girl is reaching or destined to, where she will leave the train. Why does the narrator make a pretense of studying the landscape? Pretense होता है दिखावा करना. Now why does the narrator make a pretense of studying the landscape? वो बाहर देखने का दिखावा क्यों कर रहा था? Why? Because he doesn't want the girl know that he is blind. So this was the major reason behind his pretense of studying the landscape, studying the outside. How does the narrator try to find out more about the girl? Now here you have to point out some incidences or some sentences where the narrator is trying to figure out what the girl looks like. Next, why does the narrator refer to the girl's face as interesting? In the middle of story he says that you to girl that you have a very interesting face. Now you have to think over it, why did the narrator say that thing to the girl? Why? There can be so many reasons. He maybe he wants to flatter that girl, or maybe just for the sake of conversation, so that girl can be flattered and she also start conversing with the guy, so that they can have a very quality time. If it is a very few time, but still they could spend some quality time together. Which sentences indicate the climax of the story? What is climax? And where does the climax lie in the story? Suppose a story is going in one way, in a linear way, but at one point the story gets turned around, it gets shattered that linear path. There the climax lies. When you are thinking about something and but the things happen in another way, there the climax lies. Now as if we talk about the story, the boy was trying to convince that girl that he is not blind. Maybe he is also trying to flatter her, but at the end when he finds out that the girl, the co-passenger of him, was also blind, then what does happen to that narrator, the boy? This is the climax, when the things get revealed that both the passengers are blind. Next, train journeys can bring together people who are more similar than they realize. Here you can share some experience, your personal experience, where you met the strangers and after starting the conversation with them you find out that he or she was stranger at the very first point, but after starting the conversation we have found so much resemblances with each other. The person sitting beside me is very much similar to me. Here, no, and not in only train journeys, we also find lot many people at so many places, in a fair or any place where we travel or the places we visit. Comment on the use of irony in the story. What is irony? That I have already discussed with you. The irony, the things which turns around from the reality, where the reality and the things people are expecting are completely different. There is a big gap. That is the irony. As in the story, the boy was thinking that the girl is very beautiful and he was also trying to impress her, but later at the end when she was leaving the train he finds out that she was also blind. So this is the irony, when we do the things without knowing about the consequences or without knowing about the things only, because we make some perceptions, we make some fundaments uh, about the things, but the things happens another way at the end. Based on her comments, write a character sketch of the girl. Now you have to focus on the talkings that the girl has with that boy, and on her sentences you have to make an opinion about that girl. What does she like, or anything that you can find out about her characteristic. As In the real life also, we judge the people not from their outlook but from their conversation as well. In the same way, we have to make a judgment or we have to opine on the basis of their conversation, because writer is never going to tell you, or the writer will never judge his character directly. He will put his characters in a different situation, and from there you have to make an opinion about the characters of the story. So this was all the story was about. The eyes are not here. When eyes are not here, when people can't see each other, what does happen, what kind of conversation they can have, and what kind of feelings or emotions they can share with each other. And don't forget about the pretense, जो दिखावा करते हैं, when we try to hide something from the other one. So these are the points where you have to focus while going through this story. I hope you have gotten some idea about the story. Okay, please go through this story and try to attempt all these questions. But still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me anytime. Still then, take care, study hard, bye.